We are back, guys, for the Alienware Cup, Season 1, Group A match between LGD and MUFC. Game 1, I wouldn't characterize it as a stomp, but something just shy of that, Kevin.
Yeah, it was pretty close. MUFC did have some okay CSing in the early game, but largely it was LGD taking the advantage, and they definitely transitioned that into the mid-game. Stomped, lost a few towers, killed
Dominant
people.
win.
Dead heroes all over the place for the Dire team, so that's how it went. We're into the game 2, though. If you guys want to watch the drafting stage with us, we're actually in the first round bans. Keep in mind, MUFC arguably got outdrafted in the last game, and LG has a whole extra 90 seconds this time to decide what heroes they want to pick, because they were not late. So, do they have a chance? 90 seconds, man, that makes a lot of difference.
They better have a chance, because I'd like to delay cutting my hair as long as possible.
This is really close to a 2-0 LGD and not a 1-1 MUFC, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, feasibly you could see me without any hair tomorrow, guys. And then, I mean, that would mean that everyone at BTS has lost some form of hair.
Is that a
That's
fact?
like a recurring trend. But
not all of us by choice.
oh, okay. We're not gonna get paid anymore. Okay, going into this game, MUFC picking up the Chen, LD giving us dirty looks, Darkseer as well. So not able to get a jungler last time, but this time picking up the Chen quite early actually. That's the fastest Chen pickup I've seen in quite some time since I've seen Alliance pick.
Yeah, and I kind of like the fast Chen. Maybe not the fact that it's fast, but the fact that it's in the game at all. Chen is a hero that was dominant at different parts of Dota just because of how strong jungling is. You can take fast towers. The send back is really good. That's the, oh gosh, what is it called? Test of Faith? Yep, Test of Faith. Test of Faith send back is really effective as always. The downside is that it's not as good early game because it's not tied to Holy Persuasion and it costs you more mana early. So I would almost say, well, Enchantress is definitely stronger early game. In terms of offensive potential, you can do a lot more micro, you can grab multiple creeps. But Chen does have better teamfight implications once he hits like 6, 7. So
The heal as well.
yeah, his ulti is pretty cool. Especially one thing I really like seeing teams do is when they let somebody else build the mech, like the Darkseer for example this game. Let Darkseer build the mech, let Chen just go Arcane Aghanims. If he can get the Aghanims by like 25 minutes or something, it's really good, because then he's going to have like a 30-second cooldown on his global ulti heal. It is so powerful. You can use that while you're pushing and things like that. I would love to see a little bit of a strat like that.
Yes, and actually LGD going to ban out that Spectre, which is kind of interesting because it's not a hero you see banned out too early. I'm not too certain actually if MUFC it's one of the heroes they favor or not, but I like the combination of a hero like Spectre and Chen where you secure the early game, and no matter what, even if you have a hero like Chen that's late or kind of poor late game, you have a hero like Spectre which is just the best late game hero you can get.
Yeah, exactly. You can take early towers, which gives your Spectre gold. You can gank for his lane in case he's against a tri-lane of some sorts, and just keep him alive if possible in team fights. Actually, what you can do, which is really cool, as Spectre is possibly dying, if he hasn't used his ulti yet, send him back, and as he hits full HP, he can ulti and then join the battle again. That's always really cool to see.
Really good synergy. Nice pointing that out, Kevin.
I'm the man. Thank you.
We're actually pointing at each other. For some reason, when we talk and you guys can't see, we point and look at each other all the time. Like we're doing it right now.
Oh,
I can't
that was
help it
awkward.
because I've got to stare into his eyes. But
That
anyways,
is the magic of in-person casting, guys. It's why we built the studio, or why other people built the studio, and I'm taking advantage of it right now.
me too. It just gives me an opportunity to look Purge in the eyes. So LGD going to pick up Chaos Knight for themselves. I mean, I really like this pick.
Why?
It means that Invasion, what are they going to do? Are they going to take a Wisp right now with the lineup they have? They'll have 0 stunts.
To counter it?
Yeah, their team fight and burst will be so poor. How do they do this at this point?
Well, they do have a mini Ravage with Darkseer if they vacuum the whole enemy team, so there's that at least.
Vacuum in those spirits, but it means that LGD should be able to secure the Wisp as well.
What don't you? Oh, it's 2 picks now, correct? Like
Yeah.
MUFC takes 1 pick here, and then it goes back to LGD, which gives them a pretty good chance of getting a Wisp, which means you're expecting to see, what do you think, Chaos Knight Wisp mid? Or do you think it'll be an aggressive tri-lane? Like, they'll probably put Gyro versus Darkseer. That's a pretty good matchup for Gyrocopter. And Darkseer surely will be offlane for MUFC. So that means that they can do an aggressive tri-lane with Chaos Knight, and then maybe put Clock mid or something. I guess they have options. They don't have to pick the Wisp, but it does work out really, really nicely.
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons why Chaos Knight has become such a popular pick, just because it's that classic pairing, man. It's like you and me.
Who's the wisp in the relationship?
It's definitely me. I give up.
Yep.
Anyways,
I knew that was
Rubik
coming.
gonna be picked up by MUFC. I mean, you can't really take the look at how smart that is. Because what do you do as a team like MUFC? You can't take the wisp. It limits you so hard. It's such an intelligent pickup by LGD. They don't take the wisp first, or the IO, I guess, because that means Invasion or MUFC can maybe fit the Chaos Knight in with their lineup. They can kind of make that work. But taking a wisp, especially with the Chen already, you have no reliable stun for your tri-lane. It's such a smart pickup. It's kind of one of those, we force you. Take the wisp, sure, but then what do you do with it? Whereas if they get the wisp, great. I don't know why I keep referring to it as a wisp. I'm sorry. I know there is somebody
It's fine.
that's going to be super angry about it.
I don't know if I'm ever going to stop calling him wisp. IO is more difficult to say.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain, the 4th pick for MUFC here. So we'll see that mid most likely. We saw Queen of Pain in the last game. He did okay, but he was forced to get a pretty fast BKB. Do you think that's going to happen again? I mean, Chaos Knight Wisp has a scary initiation with Reality Rift as well as the Wisp Tether, and that could be a Queen of Pain bursted down pretty easily, actually. I feel like it's really, really scary for them. The plus side is, again, Chen. If you look at what LG is working with for initiation, it's mainly Clockwork and the Wisp Chaos Knight combo. Whoever gets jumped on could just immediately be sent back, especially if it's like Rubik or somebody like that. That hero's going to die guaranteed if he gets initiated on by one of those guys. So the send back could be really, really crucial here this game.
Yes, most definitely. Completely agree with that. But at the same time, I mean, MUFC doesn't really have the tankiest heroes. Chen goes down quite quickly. Rubik goes down really quickly.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain, even with the blink, especially if she offensively blinks, she'll just blow up.
Pretty typical for that
Oh,
hero.
and a Void going to be picked up.
So purple hero synergy, of course. Has nothing to do with their skills because they're purple that they're good. But Vacuum and Chronosphere are really awesome. You can set those kills up. Surge in the Darkseer. Void will probably get a couple levels of Time Walk in the early game so that he has a longer initiation range, and then he can just drop the Chrono right on top of Vacuum and probably get at least 3. This not only helps for catching more heroes, but if he grabs a Battle Fury, the Cleave is actually a pretty good component of the damage. Even though it's only 35%, it can add up. So,
Yep. And Void actually has that luck factor that I love to see in games. Just kind of flip the coin repeatedly, see if you can get any backtracks off or stuns.
wow, have you seen this Rubik set before?
Yeah, that looks actually really sick.
I have
It
never
looks like
seen
he's
one.
constantly twitching. Is that just me?
He was always doing that.
Oh, really? I never really
pretty
noticed
typical. Oh, Void has already farmed a Battle Fury.
that.
Pretty
Nice.
sick. Mad Hacks,
What
man.
a player.
Yep.
And actually, MUFC has the advantage in lineup. They've got 4 heroes that kind of face to the right. And that's something that
The right.
LGD definitely doesn't have. But anyways, let's run down the lineups, Kevin,
Okay.
for both teams. I will do MUFC this time. So we have Winter going to be playing that Rubik. Han Trash player going to be picking up that Faceless Void, a hero we don't see too often as a carry. Ling going to be playing that Chen, which he's quite known for. TFG going to be playing the Darkseer. And FZFC going to be playing that Queen of Pain.
Before we continue to LGD's draft, which direction is IO facing in his portrait?
I think it's to the right,
So
but it's difficult because he has no facial hair
so
for
both
me to
teams
base
are
it
4
on.
right then, I think. That's
No, I mean,
pretty
Queen of
evenly
Pain is
matched.
more... In the pick thing,
She's
she
in the
looks
middle.
like she's
oh,
facing
you're right.
more
You're right.
right,
She's
yeah.
in the middle. Okay. All right, let's go over LGD quick. On the IO, we've got DDC playing. DD is playing Keeper of the Light. The Chaos Knight player is going to be Sylar. Mid lane is going to be Yao actually playing Gyrocopter. We have Zhao 8 playing the Clockwork. So he does typically play the Clock. He is expecting a 1v1 matchup, I guess, so he is going to be okay with this. But it is an off-lane lane. So we'll see how this goes for him. And he actually does have a Clarity Potion and an Ironwood Branch, so he's not bringing extra regen, which is a little surprising to me. He will cog the creeps pretty shortly here, most likely letting some of them through first.
Yeah, and actually, all the regen being stacked up on Yao. We've picked up quite a bit. Yao 8 actually going to force those. He got 1 through. And is he going to block it? Yeah, he is.
So what does this accomplish? I saw a screenshot of somebody doing this, but...
It makes the creep just stuck, and then it just kind of waits there for a really long time.
Okay. So it basically pulls
No,
one back.
he missed.
What do you mean missed? Was he supposed to put it back in
Yeah,
again?
yeah, he could have gotten it back in, but
Okay.
Actually misses, but the lane is gonna push. Look at this.
Yep, there's a creep advantage. Actually, it's looking okay almost. He might be
careful.
able to control this, but he's going to take some hits. Winter actually has a DD, so this is really good for him, but look at the damage. Telekinesis lift. Winter maybe missing one right click there, and Zhao Weight's going to be able to survive, but that's a whole salve, so that's kind of a big loss right away. On the bright side is the lane pushing. It looks like it will. Yes, it will push for sure. It's got 2 range creeps now, so it's going to be good. So at the very least, Zhao Weight's going to get some good experience out of this, and hopefully for him, he can get another bottle soon.
Forces Winter back down again, and Winter actually only has enough mana for 1 spell. Gonna pop the Clarity. Fantastic cog so far by Zhao Wei.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to just spam those. They're 50 mana apiece. He brought a Clarity Potion for this reason, because he does plan to spam this spell, especially if he can drain the mana on Face's Void. It prevents him from using Time Walk in the early game, and then he just becomes a pretty much slow damage right-click hero that really doesn't become that much of a threat for a long time.
I'd actually like to see how LGD plans on winning the Wisp CK this time, and if they have a little more success with it. They don't, I mean, they do have a pretty decent ideal lane setup, considering the actual thing I'm watching for is mid. Actually, mid's not even too exciting either, because Yao can't really do anything to FZFZ but farm. And if FC decides to go in as a Queen of Pain, he's just going to get Rocket Barrage like that.
Yeah.
Force back.
Rocket Barrage, good skill. And he actually got pulled a lot of regen. Both his Salve and a Tango, he started with the Wraith Bend. That's because Gyrocopter's base damage is definitely a lot lower than Queen of Pain, so he almost had to do this build. Again, more right clicks on the Queen of Pain to lower her HP, but the dagger's being used. And Yao's got to be careful.
Yeah, she actually went for a build with a Circlet, giving you +2 and then 3 Ironwood branches on top of that. It's one of those builds where you just want to trade hits as much as you can, because you're always going to win out, right?
Zhao Weight's trying to steal some creeps here in the jungle. He's probably just going to rocket. Yep, he does. Ooh, he loses the Alpha Wolf actually, so a little bit less EXP than he was hoping for. But he's still doing okay, picking up level 3. Wisp is going to pick up a Flying Courier. He's actually pulling in the meantime, level 2 for him. And Sylar is doing really well in the top lane. And we also see, believe it or not, Chen is winning the jungle. 15 CS.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
they're actually going to smoke. Maybe try to pick up Yao
They
here
get both?
mid.
Okay. Well, they need to let the disable go first. Bottle's going to be crowed for Queen of Pain. Rubik is going to be lifting with the telekinesis, I'm sure.
Oh, he's going to force out the wave, though. And I think Yao's actually just going to back here.
Ooh. So pretty good timing for Yao here. A little bit accidentally. He's going to block some of the creeps. The wave will be pushed slightly. It's probably going to meet about middle of the pack here, and they should be able to come from the top lane. And again, Gyrocopter, not the strongest hero ever. He's going to bottle up, so he's going to feel confident with full HP. And here comes the gank any second. As soon as he gets spotted here, they come down from the high ground. Here comes the telekinesis. Dagger first. There's the scream. Rocket Barrage being used, but it's going on the creep. There's a clap as well, and the test of faith. Not able to get the kill. Queen of Pain actually picks it up. So that's first blood. That is the problem with soloing a Gyrocopter, is that smoke ganks are going to be your absolute bane. You don't have an escape to it other than walking, and he didn't actually have his boots picked up yet. So pretty easy kill there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that went off so quickly without a hitch. I mean, Chen is one of those heroes where you're going to see that, right? As soon as you get any sort of creep, stun, or slow,
Yeah.
then you're going to see that smoke gank come in.
Yeah, having one reliable disable on your support here is absolutely necessary, though. So having the Rubik there for that was really, really good for them.
Yeah, and actually just a really smart play by FZFZ as well. He didn't kind of, he just kind of played a little bit back, continued to just CS as if nothing was wrong, and then when the gank was ready to go, then he blinks forward.
I'd really like to point out how important it is that they've kept this Darkseer down so much. His level at the moment is really not that high. He is actually one of the lowest in the game at level 3. They were able to keep him out of getting high levels of Ion Shell early, and the reason this is so significant is because just spamming Ion Shell on creeps and harassing your enemy melee carry against that is one of the most frustrating things ever. He actually went all the way back to base to purchase a boots. I think that was a little weird because his mana wasn't really that low, nor was his HP, but he has gone back to base in the meantime to get some heal. So he's going back to the top lane. But now Chaos Knight has a 2-level advantage over him. And Darkseer is going to be up against a bit of a wall here.
And Zhao actually doing quite a good job at bottom. He has 2 levels over the Darkseer right now. When you look at how well an offlaner is doing, you don't look at the carry that he's playing against or the heroes he's playing against, but rather the other offlaner and how well that person is doing. That's the easiest way to kind of compare roughly how well you should be doing. And right now, TFG kind of just being forced back.
Well, Gyrocopter is going to go pick up the stack now. He has a couple levels in the flat cannon, so this is going to work fairly well, but maybe not quite enough levels here. Only 2 levels at the moment. Queen of Pain's trying to think about maybe stealing that. She has a level 3 Scream and an ulti, but it's probably not worth the ulti. Going to try to jack that.
I can't believe you just said jack.
What, you don't?
It
What?
just
Jack a car? You don't
Yeah,
jack cars?
it just sounds so weird coming from you. Anyways, moving on. Wisp is actually level 4, almost hitting level 5 quite soon, doing quite good of a job right now. And he's actually going to hit level 6 quite soon. I mean, once that happens, I wonder if they're going to actually do a better job of being able to gank than MUFC was able to.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really see that many. We definitely didn't see that many Wisp tethers with relocates in the previous game. It was pretty much just that one. Who are they going to go on, though? I mean, Queen of Pain is a target, but she's going to be pretty hard to kill. I think it's mainly Chen. If they can get some wards up in the jungle, they could actually gank Chen fairly easily. Maybe Darkseer. He's a little scarier because he's quite tanky naturally. And if he stops getting chain stunned, he can surge away. But I would say definitely maybe do some aggressive wards and look for Chen kills. Would you agree?
You could do that, but I mean, Queen of Pain is also quite an easy kill if you can get that lead stun off on her. Faceless Void isn't a bad hero to go on either. I mean, he doesn't have too much farm. He actually opted to go for a full time lock backtrack build rather than getting any time walk build. Time walk. That sounds so weird saying out loud.
Such a
So no, not too much of a defensive setup here. And on top of that, not a lot of damage coming out on him.
Yeah, it's pretty typical to go this build, though. You do need some good damage block with the poor man shield, especially against enemy heroes. You have to get the Ring of Health because you need some kind of HP regen. I don't recommend Tranquil Boots because you want attack speed, so Tread's usually the best bet. And he probably wants a Battle Fairy anyways, so you kind of get forced into this poor man's with Ring of Regen, or Ring of Health, sorry, build. And from here, he can make Treads and go for a Battle Fairy, so.
Yes. The only issue is that when you pick a hero like Void, it's hard to get offensive on the long laner. Xiaoyu's actually just kind of abusing them with rockets at this point.
Yeah, that's really true. But at least with the Ring of Health, he can actually stand the regen. We're going to see Winter spotting the Clockwork. He pulls him back a bit. Oh, actually, he pulls him to high ground. He's, no, it's, oh, actually, they go in. They will be able to chrono. Oh, he's 1 mana short. Here comes. He's going to cast it. There it is. Does catch him. But the battery salt doesn't even matter, actually. The 2 nukes, Fade Bolt as well as Test of Faith, is able to get the kill. And that's where Void starts being really useful. He can actually get solo or assisted kills once he hits level 6. Not all carries have this option, but it's absolutely worth it to get a solo kill in the early game, because it's unlikely that you're going to get a good setup in the next 2 minutes anyways, so really nice play there.
Yeah, and MUFC doing quite well. They do have the best farmer in the game right now is Sylar, but they've got the next 3 down, and that's actually quite huge considering how well their mid is doing. Yao only has 26 CS right now, and he also doesn't know about the Invis rune in mid. And the DD.
Oh, actually, he's going to scream on through. Maybe go. Oh, he's actually completely out of mana. Oh, the TP comes in, and that might be their kill. Can they get the stun? It comes through 3 seconds, and they do pick it up. So, nice counter gank from LGD. Rather than using the relocate offensively, they use it in kind of a defensive situation. Wait till Yao actually gets dodged or dived on, and they're able to pick up the Queen of Pain despite the blink back. Almost grabbing Darkseer as well.
Yeah, and actually doing quite a good job there of being able to defend Yao right there. And the range of Reality Rift almost matches the Blink level 2, and so that's really scary. If you're able to just kind of run him down, and Chaos Knight's move speed, 455 with that tether, he should be able to run him down at early levels. So the Blink actually doesn't help too much.
Well, big gank on the bot lane, but an awesome heal from Ling's going to keep both Winter, so his Hontrash player alive. They're able to pick off Zhao 8. As a result, going to see a blast from Caudle as well, but released a little bit late there. And Sylar also TP'ing the bot lane, trying to help out, but that Chen heal was huge. I think it was the right choice from Zhao 8 to go in, but the Chen heal swung things completely. 200 HP on both Faces Void as well as the Rubik kept him alive, so.
Yes, and actually, Darkseer, level 5 only at 10 minutes, not doing too well, not a whole lot of farm either. Does have 1,000 gold, gonna pick up those arcane boots, so should be able to do a little bit better, but still kind of doing a bit poorly considering. They're actually gonna rush for the rune.
Nice blink forward, he's gonna throw the dagger first, possible Scream of Pain. Yep, 2 seconds down there, Queen of Pain's gonna be right-clicking some more, but he's gonna be fine. Actually, kind of a big loss for him there. I'm sure he would have loved to grab the illusion to prevent Queen of Pain from having more regen in the lane, and now he actually has to rely on the Wisp a bit to get healed, and he's gonna have to run all the way back to base actually. Wisp following him, so not the best situation. If we look at the
DDC
gold
is
graph,
level 8 though.
that's not too bad. If you look at the gold graph, 1500 gold advantage for MUFC actually. EXP is pretty much close. 500 is not that big of a deal. But Trash player looks like he's going to go Battle Fury first, pre-treads as well. He's got his Perseverance finished. This is going to hurt his HP as well as his mana pool, his attack speed, whatever he feels like using treads for at the time. But the plus 10 damage isn't terrible, and the overall mana regen will keep him pretty full.
Yeah, and Winter actually hitting level 6, going to rotate around the map now. He's completely smoked. They're actually looking for a gank here. TFG has been spotted out.
Well, he's surging for his life. He does have a TP scroll. Oh, I love the Duke here. They're not going to be able to stop him. Gyrocopter, of course, hasn't picked up.
Oh, and Sylar's going to get caught on.
Ulti on Sylar. Call down. Great net actually keeps him in place. 3 seconds stun. He does end up dying. And the rest of MUFC maybe going to run. Hook shot goes in. There's the battery cell. Trapped in with the creep, so not as much focus fire. Wow. Rocket Barrage does so much damage, and Chen is going to pay for that one. So at the very least, they get the Chen picked up. Keeper of the Light snagging the kill on that one.
Yes, but meanwhile, Trash player continues to farm. I think he's actually getting dangerously close to that Battle Fury.
Yep.
Only about 1,000 gold off. He's been left pretty much uninterrupted this game, and Sylar dies at the same token.
So it's looking pretty good for MUFC at the moment. I mean, once Battle Fury is finished, if they can do some vacuum combos again, that can be really useful. And even Chaos Knight, he's countered by AoE slightly, and if you have a Chronosphere, that is definitely going to be an AoE tactic against him. So he's almost got Drum finished, about 500 gold away, and the rest of his team is looking pretty good on items as well. I think this could definitely still go both ways, though. I mean, LGD is behind in terms of gold, but it's not looking too bad.
No, not at all. It is still 4-2. They do have the combo. They haven't really started really abusing that CK Wisp yet, but once they do, that's really where we're going to see how this game swings. If they're able to get those ganks off for free, kind of just pick up the momentum, get towers, then CK Wisp can really be abusive.
It's Darkseer still up there. He is. He's level
7
at
bottom.
Now. They're going bottom. That's a Chrono on Jowie. He does get a bash, so double damage on that, and the Fade Bolt to guarantee the kill. They're going to TP on top of this, though. Great stun on top of Face's Void. He does not buy anything before he dies, I don't believe. So he does end up losing his gold.
Yes. And there's that with CK TP in. Great play by Winner, though. He actually Chaos Bolted him as well. So just left no options for Jowie to get out there. But they do trade for the Void, which I think is 100% worth it.
Yeah, and again, that was only a 10-second gank for the Chaos Knight Wisp. They just TP'd to the bot lane, got the secure kill on the Face's Void, losing the kill on Jowie again, but it's an offlane clockwork. That's not that big of a loss. He's still going to be kind of useful for the rest of the game. He's going to have to worry a little bit more about tankiness, but he's probably not that concerned about this. Much better to get his Chaos Knight snowballing.
Yeah, and Chaos Knight, the great thing about him as a carry, especially if you pair him with a hero like Wisp, is you give him all the things he needs. You get better mobility, you give him protection with the overcharge, you give him the ability to stun without using his Chaos Bolt, with just being able to Reality Rift into the tether. And then, because of that, you don't really need items as much as a hero like Void does. Void doesn't really have any flash farm abilities. You can't just go around time walking because your mana pool is so limited. And on top of that, the Battle Fury, it does give you a bit of damage, which you desperately need on a hero like Void, but you also need attack speed, you need survivability because he has such low HP. So, I mean, he needs like 3 different items to make himself really decent. Whereas CK, 1 or 2 and he's fine.
And he does have those items floating out. Drum is finished now. Extra movement speed for him and his allies. Some side pulling going on from the Darkseer to try to sap some EXP, but he is having a lot of trouble this game getting EXP. And actually, now the offlanes are both equal. That's with Jowie dying. TP coming in, big team fight. Jowie's almost going down. Tries to pop bottle, but not going to be close enough. Chen throws down the heal as well, and a ton of damage on the Queen of Pain. Won't be enough. She's able to blink away just in time. Tether stun breaking, actually, as he goes back in on link. Will we see a Chronosphere? He doesn't, but they teleport back just in time. They weren't able to get them no matter what, and we should see a dead Coddle at least. Bottle healing up the Queen of Pain with the haste and more right clicks. Sylar's going to TP in the mid lane. He's thinking about fighting this, but Trash player could chrono this on too. He's going to do the shortest time walk ever, which is going to flow DD. D does get killed, and he goes in. Oh my gosh, Void dies before he gets the Chronosphere off. Great initiation from Sylar, throws the stun and the Reality Rift. Now TFG running for his life, but Rocket Barrage doing so much single target damage. And some slight over-aggression from MUFC there. They lost at least 2 heroes in that dive. Faceless Void goes down. He actually didn't even have Chronosphere mana, by the way. No wand, no treads, no way to get his mana up after he time walks, the super short range time walk, and he doesn't get it. He still doesn't have his Battle Fury. He could have gotten this at 12 minutes, but dying twice has way set him back.
Yeah, instead of a 12-minute Battle Fury, you're looking at 16, 17 minutes at this point. I mean, the dive looked good at first, right? You've got a Keeper of the Light who's only got 682 HP, but he just wouldn't die. And he actually manages to get really far. Sylar kind of scared me with that TP. I'm sure it scared you too. You're like, oh god, you're kind of TPing into 4 heroes, but then managing to kind of fog out and then get the stun off, and they were able to isolate down the Void. Just kind of an outplay on LGD's part.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you have to be really, really careful about diving. Because if you just get slightly outplayed, you lose some of your heroes and you lose your momentum. And if we look at the gold graph, gold is fine. EXP has finally swung. A big EXP swing towards LGD. And now they have some slight levels and stat advantages over their opponents.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to LGD. They should have lost that fight, but so many key individual performances. I mean, DDC, able to TP them in. They were able to get the kill on Chen. And at the last second, tethers the CK out.
Yeah, that was really sick.
That was actually just the last possible second he could have done that.
We have a huge medium stack here. That's going to be for Gyro later, I'm sure. Will he shift over anytime soon? If not, I'm sure they could use Coddle on it as well. Some push coming from MUFC on the bot lane. Chen's level 9, so that means he's absolutely maxed out on creeps. He's got a Hellbear, a Dark Troll, and a Satyr. So pushing is pretty strong from these guys at the moment, but we see TPs from LGD. Now they don't want to lose this tower, and since Keeper of the Light's here, goodbye pushing. And this is one of the best heroes actually against the Chen push. Cause
and the rocket comes too.
Oh my god, that counter push.
By Troll.
That's 200 magic damage from the rocket every 14 seconds, and obviously the Coddle Wave does, 500 magic damage. That really shuts down a push. Normally Chen pushes are not supposed to die to counter push, things like Power Shot, Shockwave, but it's just way too much.
Yeah, and Han Trash player picking up the Battle Fury at 17 minutes, which should have been a Battle Fury almost 3 or 4 minutes ago at least, has extended so far, dying twice, not being able to do too much.
And you might say, it's fine, it's on the average, but the reality is, he skipped everything to get this Battle Fury up first. He didn't get Treads, he didn't get a Magic Stick, he hasn't bought that many TP Scrolls, I don't think. He just went straight Battle Fury to have the damage and the mana regen. And it was like a rush to an item and he got a little late, I think, comparatively. He definitely could have gotten this a lot earlier.
Man, LGD picked quite a greedy lineup in that Clockwork was never going to be able to afford a mech, but look at this faith. DD manages to pick up a mech soon. I mean, he's only about 200 gold off, so I think 2 more Coddle Blasts, Keeper of the Light Blast, and he should be able to get it off. And that's just so scary, that your support Keeper of the Light is able to pick up a mech this early.
Yeah, if you thought he was hard to kill before, think about it now.
Yeah. Considering they have no towers taken?
Yeah, that is really good. He's going to blast the wave, gets 3 CS, and that should be it. Yep, 4 CS. And mech is finished for him. So 250 HP heal, it's going to be really nice. Xiaowei going for a really inexpensive build, which is at this point a Bracer and a Wand. A little bit of stats. He's actually going to find the Rubik. 1 Cogs goes down. Winter's going to lift him up in the air. He's actually going to hook shot into the Queen of Pain. Is this worth it at all? He's not going to be able to get follow-up. Maybe he's just worried about getting jumped on. I'm really not sure why he did that. Queen of Pain can easily escape with the blink.
I mean, Winter had a haste rune. I'm not too sure that they anticipated him getting that far out that quickly.
And that was also a Wisp gank with TP on the Cast Knight. So that was a little weird.
Top tower does go down, meaning that LGD has a little bit more wiggle room to utilize their CK Wisp combo. But opting not to do too much here. FZ setting up for this bottom tower. I think they want to get it, and I think DD's playing a little greedy here.
He's going to go in looking for the ult. Nope, just going to right-click DD, pops the mech. There's the bash, though, and DD will go down due to the Chen. Some TPs, but we'll actually see a cancel. So just Keeper of the Light dead, and the raiding team should be able to push on this. They still have Chronosphere, most importantly. Treads are picked up on Han Trash player, so HP and attack speed is what he's going to work with now. Another rocket from Clock, trying to slow the push, but I think this tower will go down. A little bit of right-click from the creeps. I mean, they can tank this all day. And Faceless Void gets the last hit, so no defense here, no BKB up on Gyrocopter yet, so he's got to be careful. Even when he does finish it, by the way, the Chronosphere is not going to matter. I mean, well, BKB is not going to stop Chronosphere, so.
Yes, definitely, and they should be able to isolate him down quite decently. And a mech actually finished on Chen as well. So there's the counter mech, kind of the response to the Keeper of the Lights. Because Darkseer's not going to get it.
What is he building, by the way? He has spent
some of his money, yeah.
He spent 2K. He buys an Ultimate Orb, so he's going a really fast Sheep Stick. That's very rare. He doesn't have any HP regen items. It has to be Sheep or Lincoln's. Probably Sheep,
No, it has
though.
to be a Sheep. There's no...
Lincoln's
I can't imagine why
he
would be getting an item like Lincoln's here.
So
Sheep helps so much, especially if they can get a dual hex setup.
yeah, they're going to be aiming for the gyrocopter mainly. Chaos Knight, I feel like, is nasty, but once he splits, it's like good luck guessing the right one. Generally, at least, is the case. More likely, they're just going to initiate and try to pick off enemy heroes that are slightly out of position, or go on the gyrocopter to stop his BKB. That's my guess.
Yeah, and actually, BKB going to be started for Han Trash player. Does pick up the Ogre Club. There are a few stacks. I mean, that's what DD's been doing here in this bottom lane. Did play a little greedy at bottom, getting picked off there. I mean, there's only so many times that a team's going to let you wave the wave down.
Yeah.
I probably could have said that better, but
No, that's the best way. There's
wave the wave down.
There's nothing no better. Here comes the rocket. Almost going to spot out Han Trash player, but he time walks away.
He also picked up his BKB as well.
Who did?
Yeah, on the gyrocopter.
Oh, look at the damage top here. That is a dead hero.
Goodbye, friend.
Darkseer, goodbye.
And I think that means Sylar should have his BKB shortly too, after this wave.
Now that's a hero I haven't looked at all game as Queen of Pain.
Really?
At least on items. He has an ultimate orb. As the tooltip has shown, he is going for a Scythe of Ice, most likely. Bot tower's taking some damage. We're going to see a rocket as well. It's going to scout out the Faceless Void. He could maybe initiate, and they're going to retreat immediately. They do not want to get out of position here. And these are great Chen creeps. Double troll with a Centaur. That's like a guaranteed stun setup. You just net, and then get a Centaur stomp. Very good against one hero. Also really good against with pushing. Double skeleton spawn. Not good against Illuminate Blast. We'll see if he gets hit by that. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, and it looks like they do want to set up for this bottom continuously. I mean, Sylar can continue to farm here at top. And at the same time, they still have the option of diving because the Wisp CK can just kind of come in instantly.
And
Oh, and Xiaohui going to get spotted out.
Oh, he does go in. Taking a lot of damage, actually. He's going to hookshot. Here comes the initiation. Great Chronosphere catching the TPers as well. That's burning a lot of their TP time, actually. But Rocket Barrage doing some damage to Hontrash. He pops the BKB as well. Will we see nets? Nope, not going to happen. Yet Hontrash player actually gets reality ripped back. 4 seconds stun. Oh, he gets sent back. Wisp was not able to cancel the tether. Slight mistake there. And now a TP out from Yao. Maybe it wasn't the wrong mistake. Yao's going to go down. 3 dead heroes for LGD, and that was a lost team fight for them.
Yeah, it took them way too long to kill the Faceless Void, but at the same token, Sylar popped his ult and looks like they're trying to pressure top out.
So maybe they at least can get a tier 2 out. Oh, I love this. He's running Illusion back. Oh, no, okay. I thought he was like doing a distraction or something. He's being overcharged as well. Tower will go down. Chaos Knight gets the last hit. So at least they got a tower out of it. But they did lose 3 very important heroes. Except for Coddle. No one cares about him.
He's an important hero. Gandalf counts.
He's the Arabian Gandalf currently, so...
God,
that's all
it
I'm
was
gonna
so
say.
difficult for them to bring down the Chen. Or any hero, actually, with the Hand of God plus the Mechanism combo.
Yeah. That's a pretty good 550 HP heal. That's like a weak support at this point in the game. A really weak support.
That's a free CM.
Yeah, one CM. 1 CM's worth of HP on everybody.
And the best thing about that, Queen of Pain has her Hex completed now.
Wow. So, average Hex picked up. Very good. A lot of hexes. So, Darkseer and Queen of Pain, they can hex one person, hex a second guy, or the same guy twice, and pretty much guarantee a kill on him. It also prepares them for evasion. If Gyrocopter ever gets a butterfly, they're covered against that. Hex does remove evasion. It just really sets them up well for the late game.
Yeah,
It's so early. It's very rare that you get hexes this early or as a first item. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out.
They don't know about it too. This is going to be brutal if they decide to engage here.
I'm sure they've seen the ultimate orbs though, so they probably know it's coming. There's the first hex. Yao taking damage. Deny from the Keeper of the Light. Nicely done. But we see an initiation with Zhao 8. He's going to get thrown out from the telekinesis, so doing some damage. Gets vacuumed back in. There's the BKB popped, and a right click on top of somebody that I cannot see. Looks like a dead hero. Darkseer is going to go down. 4 dead on LGD. MUFC winning team fights big time. 1 dead Darkseer. Another nuke on Sylar. It's going to be everybody going down. Great Centaur stun. And 5 dead heroes. MUFC winning team fights, man. That Hex started things off really, really right.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get the BKB off, lost half his HP, and then just set up Han Trash player. I mean, what was Sylar supposed to do there? Or Yao supposed to do there? I mean, if he pops the BKB, he just gets chronoed, and if he doesn't, he dies anyways.
Guess you pop the BKB,
Yeah.
get chronoed, hope for the best. But, man, LGD just did not win the team fight. I didn't really see the initiation. It looked like Clockwork found a couple of heroes. He hookshot it in, but again, he's not that tanky.
He just went down so quickly.
Yeah, he's gotten killed so many times this game in the offlane that he really isn't that survivable. So he has to be really careful with his initiations.
Yeah, and at this rate, I mean, the best thing about Void as a carry is he's an anti-BKB carry.
Yeah.
You pick up
That's a really good
BKBs,
point.
no matter how many you get, as long as he gets you in the Chronosphere, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You waste the BKB timer inside the Chronosphere, or you just get nuked down outside of it.
And he's playing really safe this game, going from, after his treads, straight into Black King Bar. Now, the reason he's doing this is basically for Blinding Light. That's going to stop him from landing hits. And also the Chaos Knight stun. Those are the main ones. So, going to be a lot better in team fights. He's going to have safe, reliable initiation, as well as damage.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, too, is that he realizes that if he gets a Chrono off, no matter how inefficient it is, as long as he targets one of those heroes with the BKB, they're going to win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Batrider's picked up for the same reason. 3 second, somewhere between 3 and 4.5 seconds of disable. Just, I think it's 3 and 3.5. It doesn't matter.
And
4,
there's
whatever.
no Hex coming out
It's
on the
way
way of
less
LGD.
duration, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not AoE, so, yeah, the really nice thing about Faceless Void. His damage potential isn't that high right now because his attack speed is really low, but... And he's going to backtrack everything. He'd actually dodge that one naturally, but...
He doesn't need the attack speed at this point, though. The Chrono
Yeah.
is all that they need. It's something you can't really understate, especially since LGD doesn't have a Hex coming anytime soon. So as long as he gets the BKB off, there's no instant initiation to stop him. He should be able to dodge anything else that comes his way.
Now, do you think LGD's carries can actually come back from this, though? I mean, I feel like MUFC is mostly just using their control to win team fights and their sustain. They have so many heals from Chen. Chen's level 13. This is something that rarely happens, by the way. It's very rare that a Chen goes extremely positive and gets this much EXP. You almost never see Penitence picked up, but that's really going to be really useful against Chaos Knight, except for the fact that he has a BKB now. But, I mean, they had BKBs last fight. Things didn't go so well.
Yeah, just not enough damage on their side, actually, is what it is.
Yeah. And
Look, they don't really
Coddle's
have any
unreliable.
burst.
Unless they set up a Coddle Blast.
Yeah. But even then, I mean, the mech plus the Hand of God will completely neutralize that. Yao doesn't have any damage to go along with the flat cannon.
He's got plus 24 from his Black King Bar.
He just, I mean, he
That's
just
about
doesn't
it.
have any damage to come out. I mean, he did pick up the Demon Edge, and I'd actually like for that to be a Rapier. I think right now, the way that the team fights are going and how one-sided they are, I think that's the best possible option for him. This is a game that, at the rate it's going at, you are going to lose. I mean, the Queen of Pain is just going to continue to pick up farm. You don't have a Hex anytime soon. You need to get something like this. And MUFC doing the perfect thing too. They know they have the advantage, and instead of getting really risky with farming, they're sticking together as a team. They've run us 4 or 5 this entire time, making WizCK really inefficient.
Yeah. That's a really good point. They're absolutely waiting for the Chaos Knight TP. And if that happens, they're going to swing on them immediately. They're checking the jungle actually for kills. They have the Hex ready to go. Zhao Weid's getting in position. Willie hookshot. I love his positioning. Hontrash player completely trying to bait out a hookshot. You would never stand here if you're worried about getting hooked. And he's now going to back off, slightly worried about the team showing up.
Yeah, actually, I'm not too big of a fan of that 4-man smoke gank. I mean, you have to know that's where they're going to be. They're going to be right behind that Faceless Void.
Yeah.
There's no way that the Faceless Void is actually just going to be by himself.
Pushing the tier 2 casually.
How meta would that be, though? If their team was jungling, and they knew that, they're like, we'll abuse this.
This is a worthy gamble for about 300 gold. Absolutely. Could lose our Faceless
How crazy
Void.
would it be,
It's
though?
fine.
Because no team would go in on that, right? Logically speaking.
Yeah.
Because they have to realize, oh, they're probably sitting behind him.
And Hontrash player now making up for his lack of attack speed with a Mask of Madness, an item that I normally do not like, but with a BKB, I believe it's completely worth it. He's going to have to worry slightly about maybe Flat Cannon, but once he's magic immune, that's the main source of burst damage that will be coming towards him, so he can react to this just by BKB and Mask of Madness and getting a lot of damage output for only 2,000 gold. Lifesteal is not bad either.
Yeah. Not too much physical damage for him to have to worry about.
Yeah.
Especially if he chronos the people that
It's like
do physical
literally,
damage.
it's just Flat Cannon. That's the only way that he's going to take damage now while he's in a Chronosphere. That's it. Or maybe a Coddle right clicks. I mean, they're pretty sick, man. This old man has a bit of an arm.
It's disgusting.
It's.
I mean, look at that guy.
Yeah, does he look strong to you guys? He looks pretty strong to me.
That old geezer. You don't survive this long and grow a beard that long
To not be able to punch.
if you're not really
yeah.
strong, exactly.
I think one of the coolest things about Dota heroes is like how so many of them have like magical projectile attacks.
Oh, yeah.
So like, not only can I like shoot magic, but I can just casually throw a beam of energy. Like that's pretty cool. You can shoot light out of his staff, man. Like, It's gotta be set.
This is what
something,
this
right?
game is degenerated into because we've just completely gone away from the action. We're discussing old men and attacks. But
Something
actually,
we talk about often.
TFG going to pick up his hex as well. That's 2 hexes now. The instant initiation on MUFC is insane. The Queen of Pain is actually going to pick up a maybe get a... I thought for some reason she had an Ogre Club. Has 1,500 gold. Doesn't really matter what she gets at this point. Oh, and got to be afraid of that hex.
There's 1 hex. Here comes the initiation. Oh, the Iron Shell's so useful. Willie Chrono, he's actually not going to bother. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for it there, especially with the BKB pop. And
Pops the
he's gonna
Mask of
back up.
Madness as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised. That was his 10-second, by the way. His team said, no, don't Chronosphere. Did he have buyback is the question. And Chaos Knight did not. So if he would have died there, he would have actually been dead, and it would have been a 5v4. So
I think LGD is going to maybe look to take this fight. The hex is down. The BKB is down. It's not an efficient fight. I still think they're behind, but you're not going to get a lot of better opportunities than this.
Do you think he should have Chronosphered it? I mean, they didn't know if he had buyback or not.
It's really scary because if Sylar just gets TP'd out and then they TP back into the fight, because he wouldn't have been able to catch the Wisp out, right? So the Wisp just tethers, TPs out, overcharges, and they should be able to get him out, no problem.
That's a really good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then they can just kind of regular TP, and you'll be so close to where your return point is, so it won't matter.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely would have been the wrong choice then. And then they could have forced a team fight with no Chronosphere, which they now have. Downside is there's no BKB, so he might have to be careful about using the Mask of Madness, depending on his surroundings, because he could get bursted down, depending on chance.
It just means that he can't be the first one to initiate, because he'll just get CK stunned, and he has to wait half a beat. But Ling does have his Aghanim Scepter now. It's like what you talked about.
Yeah.
But he has a mech on top of that. He is so farmed right now.
It's such a good Aghanims. The cooldown reduction goes from 120 seconds to 30 seconds. Once he hits 16, he gets an extra 100 HP heal, but it's honestly a great item right now. And the HP is also fantastic. Like, Chen is generally a hero that has less than 1,000, but being able to pick up a point booster and an Ogre Club on top of that, it is fantastic. In case it wasn't hard enough to kill him before.
And actually, Queen of Pain hasn't picked up anything new yet. 1,600 gold, just sitting on that. But Winter, he has a Blink Dagger, he has an Urn, doing quite well for himself. It just seems like all of MUFC has core items, and LGD is kind of lacking.
Well, here comes the tier 1 tower push. Catapult's leftover rocket's going to scout for some heroes. Will the Faceless Void do anything? Nope, he's just going to stand there. And Dire Team actually backs off. LGD knows the tower is going to be really hard to take, especially against Fade Bolt, against other AoEs. Actually, you don't have that many AoE counter pushes now that I look at it, but they're just going to spread out and farm. Mostly sitting as 5 at the moment.
Yeah, and they're actually pinging for Roshan, MUFC is. And I think they could actually take a fight at Roshan as well. The BKB should be up in time for that.
We haven't even gotten to see a vacuum chrono just yet, so I mean, it does force LGD to have to be extremely careful. Any AoE disable plus vacuum is generally something that you should be terrified of, because if you, I mean, people get out of position as is, but if you combo that with a movement ability like vacuum, that's just a lost team fight where you lose 3 heroes for nothing.
And actually, oh, they're gonna go in, pick off Winter.
Was he was by the Roshan pit?
Yeah, they were actually able to just pick him off really quick, and that means LGD should be able to get the Roshan down.
Yeah, that was their ward that just died out, actually. Yao as well as Sylar are right-clicking DDC from the high ground now.
Is MUFC actually going to take this fight? Looks like it, actually.
They can't see this at all, actually. And Zhao Wei knows. He knows the Darkseid's there. He actually gets Hex. Here comes. Oh, he actually time walks into the Chronosphere, pops his BKB now. Willie Chrono, he does catch the 2 carries just barely. And the damage is doing well. Zhao Wei's in position. Gonna get right-clicked a couple times from Hontrash, but he only gets the 1 kill. It's Clockwork going down. Scream of Pain, great ulti actually. And he's on the high ground, but it's perfect positioning. 3 dead heroes from LGD. They'll be on the chase as well, just maybe. And that's a bunch of dead ones. Roshan pretty low at about 40%. And MUFC should be able to finish this up. Gyrocopter buys back, but he's just going to TP to the tier 2 mid. I don't think he can contest this, honestly.
No, there's no way.
As the team fight went.
I think they kind of thought they had to, but I think that was just a wasted buyback. Trash Player does get stunned by the tether, but I think the CK stun was on cool. Oh, they're going to go on Yao too, and he's going to die again.
They have used both hexes. Actually,
Rocket
they
Barrage.
have not. Yao goes down. They have another hex that's being used on the Wisp. Scream of Pain, these hexes paying off so hard. 2 second stun on Quap. She's gonna be completely happy with that one. And more chase as DDC runs for his life. Great tether. Scream of Pain puts him to 18, and he the urn on himself just in time. Mech as well. DDC will survive, but not looking good. 20 to 10. Another tower goes down. There's that casual Chen heal.
Might as well at this point, considering how far ahead you are. And man, Winner has been playing this so great, stealing spells left and right, managing to survive in these team fights despite being so weak in terms of HP. I mean, he's only got 1,000 HP, but he manages to stay alive for everything. And stealing that rocket barrage, that's huge. It does so much damage, actually. And another thing is, the Void was able to get both the BKB heroes in his chrono immediately.
That was such a good chrono. It really was. Like, it's hard to land chronos when they know that it's coming, but he barely caught both carries on the edge. If it was a little off either way, he might have taken a lot of damage. Or be pulled out.
Able to save it out there, though.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. He's going for a butterfly next. Generally a really good Faces Void item because all the plus 60 damage as well as the 60% attack speed is a huge, huge advantage when you're trying to bash. So the evasion's great as well. Again, if you pop BKB, not only are you magic immune, but now you have 35% evasion on top of that. So even if you're taking bonus damage from Mask of Madness, some of those hits might just do 0 because they'll miss.
Yeah, actually a really scary situation for LGD to be in. Han Trash player, even if he were to die or get an inefficient BKB off, he does have the Aegis. So he can kind of just time out when he wants to get his Chronosphere off.
That could be very useful.
Vlad's picked up on Ling as well.
Oh, nice. We have a Harpy Storm in the game.
I know that's your favorite creep.
There's going to be so much lightning. You can cast this thing like 10 times.
So much lightning, they think there's going to be a Zeus in the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
BKB picked up on Queen of Pain. Vlad's picked up on Ling. Everyone getting farm.
On the Radiant team.
The investments are paying off.
Their items look really good, man. Double Sheep and Aghanims. They've got BKBs. They've got a Butterfly just about. Man. Wow, Winter is that good of a win rate. That's seriously impressive. Guy knows how to play Rubik well.
Really does. It's one of those high skill cap support heroes that you can't just put in anybody's hands. Winner doing a phenomenal job with it this game. Han Trash player going to pick up his Butterfly any moment now. And I think from there, they just start forcing fights left and right.
Might as well. It's going to be really hard to kill Faces Void. We've got Aegis at about 3 minutes. Oh
That's
god,
this
is confusing now. Is this inverted? I think the this is bugged, I think. This timer is supposed to be going this way. So we just hit 3 minutes. He's got 3 minutes left before that gets reclaimed, so
yeah.
They've got some time.
Man, the margin for error for MUFC in team fights is huge.
Yeah.
They can mess up so many things and still win. If the Chen gets his Hand of God off, they'll be good. If he gets his mech off, they'll be good. If he gets both off,
good luck.
Yeah, exactly. And if any sort of decent Chronosphere goes off, I mean, there's just so many different ways they can win this fight.
Yeah.
LGD doesn't have enough disable, no hexes out on them, and they have to lock down so many heroes.
And Wisp still has 3 armor, so if he gets Chronosphere, he's so dead. It's going to be like a 5-hit with some bashes.
Yeah, he is. And Yao actually has gone negative gold somehow. I mean, at some point he had 1,500 gold and a Demon Edge.
Really?
And now he's got 750.
Is that a buyback?
Yeah, he did buy back that one time after the Roshan. But he hasn't picked up any gold on top of that.
I just don't know if I see him finish it. There's the blink for it. Actually, they're going to grab Sylar. There's a tether, and he actually pulls him back. That's a Queen of Pain ulti on cooldown for 135 seconds. That was actually a pretty sick save out of the Wisp.
Yes, and actually, they're just going to back up a little here. I think they're still going to try to force this fight, though. There is a BKB still up on the Queen of Pain. The ult was used, but I think that was the only thing. The Hex is going to come up soon. BKBs are still up. And the Chrono wasn't used, most importantly.
Well, LGD continues the turtle with their 5-man roster. None of them are farming. MUFC is going to split and farm, though. Mid push, vacuum. Just this guy doesn't like trees. Pretty obvious. And
he missed the Force Staff, and he got stuck.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's actually a big deal, though. So they have to kind of wait for the vacuum to come back up.
They look confident. They're looking like they're going to go high ground. Iron Shell and Faces Void really helps out a lot as well. He's looking to initiate. Almost there.
I mean, is the Aegis fading soon? I think it actually might before this fight even starts. Oh, he's going to go in.
He's got a minute to go. Oops. Nothing quite yet. Homing Missile starting things off at least.
And they've actually going to kind of hurry this. LGD doing a good job of just stalling out, keeping the light blast, keeping the wave back. Not much being able... Oh, he's going to go in.
Listen, 2 supports, BKB, Mask and Madness, right click and salary, changes his mind, wants to grab DD. Oh my gosh, the Wisp save again. They're going to absolutely not get a kill with the Chronosphere. That was such good play. Huntrash player changing targets halfway through. They're going in. Will he be able to grab the Void? He pops the BKB, running for his life, but the blast is used. Gyro is down. He goes back in. He wants to fight this, but getting mana leaked. Mana's going to run out almost completely. Here comes the blast. More damage. Cogs being used. And yep, that's it for mana on Void. He's completely out, and they actually defend this. I can't believe it. 1 death on Gyrocopter, but it's going to be fine. They tether coming in. Sylar wants a kill. It's dangerous, though. They can maybe kill Chen. Yeah, Chen's the guy to go on. You don't want to kill Void. He's going to get full HP, full heal. Look at the bashes. Sylar goes down. Vacuum onto him. Zhao Wei running for his life. Full hero scream. We'll see Zhao go down, and it's a 1-1. I'm giving that one to MUFC. Holy crap. I can't believe they played really, really well there. LGD just could not stand up to their play that game. I mean, Faceless Void was consistently getting kills in his lane. Zhao Wei, despite dying, it was looking pretty good for LGD, but mid-game rolled around, and MUFC just kept winning fights consistently. It wasn't really like a stomp. It was just a constant, consistent outplay from LGD. That's what it seemed like to me, at least. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I completely agree. And on top of that, both teams that pick CK Wisp not being able to pick up the win. And I just think it's kind of a style that they're not too comfortable with. You can see they don't take too many risks with the TP. And it actually seems like Chinese teams aren't that great at running it, or Asian teams in general aren't that great at running it, but they're fantastic against playing against it. They stick together, they clump up, they don't allow the combo to snowball and roll, because that's what it does, right?
Yeah.
You get 1 or 2 kills, you transition, you transition, you transition, and then from there the game kind of snowballs out of control. But we should hand it over to those
Lumi's
two guys.
Advice: play better.
Play better, just win.
Any new advice, Lumi?
I mean,
play even better.
Play better,
more.
win game.
Yeah,
we told MUFC guys, all you need to do is play better Dota. They did it.
All they gotta do
win.
is listen to Lumi and
listen to Lumi. Life lessons with Lumi. That's
There
what
you
you
go.
get for your Alienware Cup coverage. But in all seriousness, not only to sort of piggyback on what Blitz was saying, I felt like there were 2 factors at play. One of them is CK Wisp doesn't really feel like an LGD style. It's a lineup that just isn't as strong. Team fighting, 5-manning. You do need to make things happen and just be aggressive mid-game, and that's LGD does it, but and has success with that, but generally more with kind of map controllers like the Beastmaster, the Nixus. And the other thing is, I felt like this was your classic MUFC style. They love to get Faceless Void. They love their 5-man Dota. Getting a Chen, these team fight-oriented heroes, the Darkseer who can build the fast mech. Not only wasn't it the style that we normally see from LGD, but it was what MUFC loved to run and seemed to work really well.
Yeah, I mean, when you pick Keeper of Light and Wisp as your 2 supports, you know they're not going to be doing too much damage. Sure, you have Illuminate and you have Overcharge as some sort of like pseudo-damaging, but you really rely on Gyrocopter plus Chaos Knight to do the heavy lifting. What did we see from Gyrocopter? Got ganked mid, gave up the first blood, was like 26 CS, 7-8 minutes in. He was going to be a non-factor. CK got some good early ganks off, but really was rendered useless by the Chronosphere. So both of the carries effectively taken out for the Dire team, and LG just had no damage.
I loved the Faceless Void pick because, like you said, so good at, not only against locking down a melee carry like CK, illusion-based hero, but you can easily chrono all the illusions, but also you could just blow up the Wisp, chrono and focus the Wisp, and actually the Wisp, amazingly for LGD, did not get caught at the end there too much, was able to even save allies through chrono. They were just too far behind at that point, and if you're forced to use the ultimate only defensively, generally you're not going to take the game.
I think the last team fight at the base, the Dire team, LG was starting to figure out how to deal with the Chronosphere because Chrono came out and Wisp just used Relocate defensively, which is one of the great utility of Wisp. But at that time, they're dealing with double Hands of God, double Scythe of Ice. Everybody has so much item that LG just could... If the game maybe went on for 20, 30 more minutes, maybe they would have a chance, but... At that point, that last push, it was just not gonna cut it.
Not the best time to start figuring out how to deal with
they
Void.
needed to know how to deal with it minute 1. You know,
they're coming for your base. They're coming for your family. They've already poached your firstborn out of the crib, and well, that's all she wrote for LGD China in Game 2. The series ends up being a 1-1 tie, which I thought it would be
MUFC. See?
I know people are giving me crap in the chat for saying I predicted LGD 2-0.
Our resident
Me and Lumi, we got it 1-1.
The Korean and the Chinese working together here.
All you gotta do is listen to me. I'm gonna say.
Only here in the Alienware Cup do you get that kind of international cooperation. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up for MUFC versus LGD China. As mentioned previously, LGD International is going to be forfeiting their first 2 group stage matches, the one today and one tomorrow as well. But we'll see them on